Hi, this is Matt, the Do-Over Guy, and this is your Do-Over, Episode 5.
During an era where countless people, businesses, and organizations are feeling the pinch, running out of time, running out of money, losing confidence, feeling as if life is unfair, praying for another chance, and unless something is done, life is going to pass them by. Fortunately, in the nick of time, there is now a place where the ignored, underestimated, and unknown steps to producing results and making life work are revealed. Save your career, save your business, save your health, save your relationships, save your life. Get from where you are to where you want to be faster and with greater ease than you ever thought possible. Say hello to your do-over.
Welcome to Your Do-Over, the place where you get to hear, learn, and take action on the ignored, underestimated, and unknown steps to producing results. And this is the show where I get to show people dissatisfied, unhappy people, discontent people, that people that are just don't like what's going on in their current situation. I show them how to start over, discover a better life, and get lasting results. I show them how to do it easier, faster, smarter. The whole intent is that they never have to do over again. They'll never have to start over again. If you're in that situation, get a head start on your do-over by going to freedoover.com to download the 3 pillars of creating the ultimate do-over. It's an MP3 audio recording. It's yours absolutely free, and you can get it at freedoover.com. So go ahead and get started. Don't hesitate. Discover a better life and get lasting results right now at freedoover.com. Alrighty, I initially set out to keep my podcast under 30 minutes, preferably around 20 minutes. And I've noticed that when I conduct an interview, time sort of gets away from me. So today we do have an interview, and I'll get into it right away. I want to honor that commitment of 30 minutes or less. And what you're going to notice today, you're probably going to notice a similarity of today's guest in relation to our last 2 guests. You see, I was in a network marketing company the last 3 years or so, and we were in the business of selling real estate investing education. The motto was, we just don't teach real estate investing, we create real estate investors. It was an awesome company, awesome product. What was so great about it is you could make your money actually using the product, or you could make your money selling the product. And there's a lot of us, the most successful within that company, chose to do both. It just kind of went hand in hand. So awesome company, awesome product. You know, I'd still probably be involved full time had there just not been such an upheaval in the leadership in my territory. I mean, in a nutshell, just with less support, it became more difficult to generate a living from it. But I was able, fortunately, to take the education and place the majority of my attention on that of being a real estate investor. I mean, that's essentially why I got involved in the first place. And I'm really grateful that the company delivered, because here I am making a living and building my fortune as a full-time real estate investor. An additional benefit of that company, of being involved with that particular company, was the number of amazing and successful people I was able to meet and establish relationships with. You see, the compensation plan, it was absolutely ridiculous. I mean, the compensation plan within that company was so lucrative that it attracted the best of the best within that industry of direct sales and network marketing. I mean, some highly successful and skilled people came to that company, and I mean, right out of the gate, they started earning very high 6-figure incomes in their very first year. And if you've ever been in that industry or been involved with a company, you know you hear about those stories, but they seem to be that unicorn in the woods. Like, you never actually get to put your hands on it or experience it yourself. But really, and for example, John Wilson, who we had on a couple shows ago, I mean, he had a couple, 3 or 4 6-figure months in his first year. I mean, he still holds the record for the biggest grossing month in that company of $256,000. So you can see that type of money would attract a lot of people, and it definitely brought out the best of the best. And they've all taught me so many invaluable lessons that I've asked several of them to come on the show and share their words of wisdom. I mean, they are extraordinary individuals that have insight that you just might not otherwise have access to. I mean, they've all since left the world of network marketing since that company, and they've started new endeavors, and they're producing similar results. And that's one thing I learned about network marketing, and it was my very first exposure to the industry. And the skills and the lessons that you learn within are the types of skills and lessons you probably wouldn't learn anywhere else. And those skills, they translate beautifully to the business world, whether it's within network marketing or not, doesn't really matter. In that industry, it'll really reveal what you're made of. You will come to know yourself and who you are. You'll know if entrepreneurship is for you or not. In fact, Robert Kiyosaki, he suggests that network marketing is better than an MBA for real world application. And I don't think that's too far from the truth. I know Donald Trump, he's actually on record as well by saying if he lost everything and had to start from scratch, it'd be within network marketing. That's how he'd do it. Okay, sorry, getting off track. This is not a podcast or even an episode about network marketing. I was just, I went off on a little tangent there. Sorry. I was attempting to lay the groundwork for my next guest, and I'm very excited to have this next guest. I mean, he's one of two mentors in my life that has made the biggest difference in my professional life. I mean, he's really showed me what work looks like. I mean, he taught me words like intent and focus and vision, and he taught me what they mean. And certainly we all know what they mean, right? But to actually see somebody put them into action and take them to the most literal meaning and implement them into their life, there's power behind that. It made a tremendous difference in my life just being able to witness it, to watch somebody actually walk the talk, so to speak. I mean, we know so many people out there that talk a great game, but are they really walking the talk? Are they walking their words? Are they practicing what they're preaching? And this gentleman, he certainly did. I mean, he generated almost $700,000 in his first year in that network marketing company I mentioned earlier. And it doesn't matter what endeavor you take on. It doesn't matter what company it was. Those are amazing results. And it's because he's focused and he has an amazing work ethic. He's moved on from that company, however, since, and he's in the middle of his do-over. He's launched his own company. He's going to tell us all about that, and he's going to tell us what it takes to actually start over. I mean, another amazing story of rise and fall and rise again, because he did lose it all in between. And I just want to introduce you to him. A really good friend of mine, Stephen Gregg. Stephen, thank you for taking time out of your schedule to share with us your do-over.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
You bet. I'm glad to have you here. Well, you know, when things are I know things are going really well for you right now in the world of business. You seem to have stumbled across a nice little invention, and you're going to be taking that to TV from what I hear, and we certainly want to hear all about that. But can you begin with what you were doing just prior to your current endeavor and lead me up to how you are where you are today?
Sure. I was at a business that had to do with real estate investing, and we had joined that company in 2006, and when we first got into that business, it was a tough time. My wife and I, we just found out we were pregnant with our second kid, and then we got into that business, and we were a little tight on money. So it took about a few months to get going. We had got down to a point where we had no money, but then the business started taking off for us, and we generated a lot of income, high six-figure income over the next 12 months, and then we decided to, expand our business because real estate was booming in 2006, and so we opened an office, and then it expanded more, so we opened a second office, and it started doing really, really well for us. And my wife started doing real estate. She bought a bunch of properties. I was, doing the business side of our company, and things were going, right in the direction we should, that we felt it should. And then, of course, 2009 hit, and things changed, and the industry changed, and it got more challenging for us. So we had to make some conscious decisions. Do we keep, going and robbing Peter to pay Paul, or do we, cut bait and just move on and try something different? So we had to make a decision. We did, and we shut down our offices, and we had to restart all over, and things got very, very challenging for us at that time. And my wife and I, we prayed about it. We thought through, what should we do? What direction should we go? And a friend of mine called me one day, who's been a great friend of mine for a long time, who had this product called Maxi View Mirrors, blind spot mirrors for cars. And he said a very profound statement to me one day. He said, Stephen, one challenge that you've had all these years was the same challenge that I've had. Harry said, the one thing that you need to do is you've got to own the product. Once you own the product, then you have a lot more control of what goes on. And that's what happened. And so, that day we made a decision that I was going to go back, partner back up with Harry, and help him market the product worldwide. So I did. So I called him up and told him, what I needed and the direction I wanted to go with it. I laid out this whole marketing plan, and he accepted it. And so from that point on, we rebranded the company, and now we're back on television with it. We're hopefully going to be landing another big infomercial company in the next couple of days. And the business is, going in the right direction. And so that's how we got to where we are now. It was a challenging road, but it's definitely doing well.
Well, congratulations. I like stories where people pull themselves back up out of adversity, and that's basically what this whole podcast is about. And when things are going really good, it's easy to feel unconquerable. What was the first sign that things weren't going so good, and how did you respond?
Well, it was funny. The first sign that things weren't going so well is in the beginning of 2009, the month of January, in that business, the industry, of course, changed and of real estate, and our funding stopped. And the first sign was when I started getting a lot of cancellations. I had like 10 or 11 cancellations in a row, and then the owner of that company called me out of the blue, which never happened in the 2.5, 3 years before that. He called me to wonder what's going on. And I didn't know what was going on because I wasn't doing anything different. I was doing business the exact same way, but people were afraid and they were holding on to their money. And so, when you have a $20,000 to $30,000 a month expense every month and zero income come in, it's a little challenging to deal with that. And so we knew we weren't going in the right direction, but for the next 6 months we did persevere and we made it through. But that's when we noticed that, things are changing, and either we're going to change with it or we're going to fall by the wayside. And so what we did was we had to look at where we were. We had to look at the assets we had. We had to look at the situation we were in and make some conscious decisions of which direction we were going to go. And we did. And, sometimes those decisions weren't easy. Actually, they're very difficult decisions, especially when you have hundreds of people relying on you for their livelihood. We had to look at the big picture. What was best for them and what was best for us? And we did. We made a decision to shut down the offices, and I'm grateful I did, because I look back at a lot of my friends that were having a hard time at the time are doing a lot better now because of the decision that we made.
Mm-hmm. How would you respond differently today under the same circumstances?
Well, hindsight is 20/20. So if I look back right now at the situation we went into, I may have made a little bit different decisions. I would have probably got more into real estate investing itself. I probably would have invested more into some of the properties that I was marketing and some of the things that I was learning. Probably would have done more of that to generate a little bit more of a stability. I also probably wouldn't have invested so much into the office and into the foundation that we did. I invested a lot of my personal money and put a lot of my personal credit and things like that on the line to market the business. And looking back at it, I definitely would have done that differently. I would have gone more at a slower pace and got more partners involved versus me taking on that full responsibility, which would have left me a lot more liquid at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So some of the things I would have done differently.
Got it. What is one mistake that you made in your first endeavor, that last endeavor, that you swear you'll never make again?
Well, one of the big mistakes that I made that I would never make again. I think one of the biggest mistakes that I made